Our coverage of spring ball throughout April with the Aggies is always brought to you by your local Texas Ford dealers. And today we enter the film room at the Bright Complex and we talk with our co-defensive coordinator, Marcel Yates. He is also in charge of our secondary here at Texas A&M. Going to get a little film session with him, but first, let's just chat about that secondary. Even before you talk about positions and competition, who's going to play where, coaches and players in this program, do they have to buy into change right now with new schemes and new personalities coming at them, all different directions?
Without a doubt. In order for us to get, what we want as a team, first, as a staff, we got to be on the same page of what we want these guys to be able to do. And then that leads on into our meeting rooms and then onto the football field to make sure we're all on the same page. So we all have to be on the same page as a whole. It starts with us as a staff first. So we have our game plan and what we want to do and what we want to get better at. And then that leads into the meeting room, which goes on into the football field.
And then I think about your secondary. What at the moment, as you're barely 5 practices in now, what is encouraging about this group to you?
That they want to be good, they want to work, and they're very athletic. That's one thing I can tell you, that they're a very athletic group. Now, I put that on myself to get them to where they need to be in order to be good football players. So I'm gonna put the pressure on me to get them coached up and to get them, lined up and get them feeling great about playing in our defense.
Let's flip it to the other side. You are only 5 practices in.
Right.
What concerns you about your group at this moment?
I wouldn't say there's any concerns. I just know that every day we need to come out and we need to work and we need to get better. My concern would be if they weren't working and if they wouldn't get better, or if they weren't getting better, I should say. But they're coming out there every day. They're working hard. They want to be good. And so to me, we don't want to waste a day of not getting better, or saying, I don't feel like coming out here today because it's hot or you guys are too hard on us, so they're working to get better. So I'm just going to keep pushing for us to get to where we want to be.
All right, so now we're going to take a look at what Coach Yates has been doing specifically, what he has pinpointed in working with his secondary. We'll turn it around, check out the film. Coach, what have you pinpointed at this time in spring that you're having this group work really hard on?
Well, really what I want to do is just get our technique to where, we are great technique-wise, because they're going to learn the concepts of the defense. But when it's all said and done, to me, at some point it's going to come down to where a corner or safety is going to be man-to-man on a guy, and now that scheme is out the door. Now it's you versus him.
Right.
Who's going to have the best technique, who's going to run the best routes, who's going to have the best coverage. So this is just an everyday drill, we call it EDDs. That means everyday drill that I do. And we want to work in straight lines. We don't want to round stuff off. So this is our first day of practice. This is the first time these guys have ever done this drill for me. And we're just going to watch a little bit. So you want to plant and drive, once again, and just make sure we see if these guys are rounding off their brakes, okay? Because they want to run through this last cone. And right here, okay, once we get here, you want them to plant and really burst out of your brake, okay? And you can see up top, okay, that's a corner up top. You can see the difference between him bursting out of his brake and getting to where he needs to be, not rounding, going, drive. You want to work your arms and really get going and not round it off. You want to point that lead foot, where you want to go, okay? Because that lead foot is going to take you. If it's pointing that way, you're going that way first. So you need to have that turn and pointing at this cone and work in straight lines, okay? I'm real big on no wasted movement. We need to get to a point as fast as we can, without taking too many steps to get there.
Well, we thank you for letting us come into your film room. Enjoy the rest of spring ball with your club.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
That's Marcel Yates on 12th Man TV. Again, our coverage brought to you by your local Texas Ford dealer.